Hello again. In this tutorial, I will take you through the NMAP. NMAP is one of the simplest tool but very powerful tool for penetration tester. Why we use NMAP? Because you have been given a target machine or you have been given a target network. Before you start doing the pen testing, you need to find out what the target machine does have, what the target machine has as operating system, or what are the ports open, what are the services running over there, if there is any known vulnerabilities to those services, or if there is any exploits available against those services. So by running nmap, simply you find out what do you have in that particular machine or particular network, so that you can prepare, plan to do a real attack. Without being successful on such kind of investigation, you will have very limited chance to exploit anything. So first of all, you will have to identify what we have. Now to do this task, I had to have a certain kind of network. You can see I'm using VMware Workstation. I have number of virtual machines here. My attacking machine is Kali. I have a Metasploitable, which is a Linux machine with lots of known vulnerabilities in there. So I will be using Kali Linux to identify the vulnerabilities exist within this Metasploitable machine, and once I see certain information from this Metasploitable machine, then I can check do a quick simple check online to find out what kind of exploits available. I will take you through the whole steps, but before I do, quickly I will show you how. Probably you already know. First of all, you will have to make a network between these PCs. For me, especially from Kali to Metasploit, I need to make sure these two guys can talk to each other. I have a IP address in this Kali, which is 192.168.0.8. What I did, I right clicked here, went to settings, and then network adapter. I clicked on bridged. So this Kali Linux is directly connected to the physical network. I did the same thing for Metasploitable. So both of these are using a virtual NIC, but both of those virtual NICs are connected to my actual NIC. Therefore, whenever I'm trying to send traffic from here to the Metasploitable, I can send traffic. So after setting it up, I did a quick ping test. I got the reply. Then I'm moving on to the next task. Please make sure, if you do have such kind of setup, you send ping, you try ping command from Kali to Metasploit or other way around, because if you don't have this connectivity in place, whole task will not work. If you have any problem with that, please drop me an email. I will give you some extra guideline on setting up that network. Let's move on to NMAP. So when you are trying to use NMAP, what I will request you to do very fast, always go to type NMAP and type NMAP and what's happening? Come on. Okay. If I take you to the up here, okay, what I did at the beginning, before I start anything, I always prefer to go through with the help. So if you don't know how many options are available, if you don't know how to use NMAP or using NMAP with different options in different scenarios, please quickly type NMAP --help, and that will give you the details of how to use NMAP. So quick explanation about this line where it explained how you use NMAP. You just type NMAP, then you need to explain what type of scan you want to do. You can provide number of different options, and you need to specify what is your target. So sometimes your target will be just one PC, sometimes it will be a number of hosts, each of those has different IP, and sometimes it will be a range of hosts, so a whole network or part of the network. This whole description is down here. If you have a list of some host in a file, let's say a text file, you can use this option to show that file, and NMAP will pick up that list, will identify other things what you are looking for. Lots of other options. I will take you through some important one what I will be focusing on. Let me take you to the port specification and scan order. So if you wanted to scan a certain number of ports, let's say you want to scan only port 20 to port 120, I don't know why, just I picked up some number. In that case you can say, okay, start with -p and you say port number 20, and wherever you want to end 120. For example, you could have scan only port 22, or you could say scan all the ports from port 1 to 65,535, up to you. I want to take you to the other area. I think this is one of those what you will be using as beginner most of the times. So what this will do, -sv is the option which will go through with only the open ports. It will determine the services and the versions available into each of those ports if it can. So what you could do, you could give a target machine and you could say, okay, scan all the ports of this target machine, find out what services are running on any of those open ports and what particular version that services are running on. Reason you want to do that is knowing that version, you can go and check online to identify the exploits or vulnerabilities related to that version. Another point I wanted to quickly notify is OS detection. Most of the times you want to know what operating systems are running on those particular machines you are targeting. Just having this -o option will give you the operating system available into your target machine. I will strongly suggest you to go through with this page, try to understand and try to remember those what you think you may need in your particular scenario. So once you are okay with that, what I did, I'm just showing you the completed task because I'm trying to save some time here. My machines are a bit slow and it took quite a while to run and complete a scan. So what I did run this command. I typed nmap, which is the command to do a network map. I say -sv, small s and capital V, which would identify wherever open port available and whatever the services running on those ports, whatever the versions running on those ports for those services. I also said please find out what operating system I have in that host machine, target host. I said scan all the ports from port number 1 to 65,535. And as you see, I gave SV. It will scan all the ports, however it will show me the result only of the open ports. And then I gave the target machine IP. If you were looking for a range of machines, then you could give that range, but for me this was only one machine. I just want to point out that this was the machine I was targeting. This is my target machine, Metasploitable. So after completing the process, it took a while. It will take a while because I asked to scan so many ports, and possibly there are lots of vulnerabilities. My PCs were slow, so number of different factors involved in there. Anyways, after scanning completed, first message I was looking for is this host is up. So if a host is not running, you will see this message, host is down. Then you will know probably that host is down for whatever the reason. You cannot contact to that host. Not shown. So second interesting point is saying that it is not showing me 65,505 closed ports. Remember, I asked to show me only the open ports. Therefore, all the ports what has been found as closed, this particular query is not showing me the result for that, and probably I don't need that result anyways. Now you can see all the ports, port numbers, which are the ports, open ports. So first one, we got port 21. I hope you know that this is FTP, port file transfer protocol, what will be used in this particular port. And here we are using VSFTPD version 2.3.4. Like this way you can go through with all of these. You can see which port is open, what particular version you are running. Now you may not know what this version is all about. You may not know whether there are any vulnerabilities linked to that particular version, whether there are any free exploits available what you can use to try to exploit that vulnerability. Therefore, all you do once you have your NMAP scan completed, you go through with each of these versions and simply copy it, then do a Google search, whatever the vulnerability name is, exploits. So if I show you this, okay, go away. I'm doing a quick search, exploits. So I'm saying this was the version, show me if there is any exploits available. Number of different places will come, but I will request you to always look for exploitdb.com. That's your friend, best friend for pen tester, which will have a list of hundreds of thousands of exploits available out there. So by looking into this place, I can see this has a backdoor command execution from Metasploit. Metasploit is one of the most powerful tool you can have to exploit the vulnerabilities within any sort of environment, what we'll be using a bit later on. Whole point for me being checking here, now I know that my target machine, which is this, had port 21 open, which was running this particular version of the process. And by looking into this page, I can say that this does have a backdoor command execution. What it does, all the other details I can find out, or later on I can simply use Metasploit to exploit these vulnerabilities and to do something bad with that particular machine. So this was everything. Very quick summary before I finish. Let's go away. Okay, it's not going away. So what I did, just have taken you through the NMAP. Use NMAP --help to see all the options, and then I have used the simple parameter NMAP SV to see all the open ports with operating system. So I gave a port range as well, and I said show me whatever we have in there. After finding the version, I went to exploit DB and check whether there is any exploits available for that particular version. Thank you all. I will see you on next tutorial.